Hey, Christy Mattoon here with Mind Rewire. As always, thanks for being here with me. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. It always helps my standings, and I'm very, very grateful. If you haven't found me on Instagram, that would be a fun one to go look at because sometimes I do different content over there just because of the size of the video you can do. Sometimes it's just really fast and sweet, so it can be a little bit easier. I do always try and keep things under, between 8 and 10 minutes just so it's easier to get through and fast and you get quick information. So I do appreciate your subscriptions to my channels. What we're talking about today, what I'm talking about is basically the effects of what you've been led to believe. The effects of what you've been led to believe. I was at a seminar a couple weekends ago, and what the guy said was, like, his tagline across one of the top of his posters was actually, when the evidence when the evidence no longer supports the story, it's time for a new story. When the evidence no longer supports the story, it's time for a new story. And I have had that stuck in my head ever since I read it and listening to him talk. This morning, I did a 8 or 9 video series with a young lady, a health person, a nutrition person, a counselor. And what we're doing with folks is a 21-day hormone reset from a food aspect, not from the energy aspect, but from the food aspect. And it's actually part of an 8-week course that we lead people through that incorporates the food and the energy, because what we have found out is that keeping them separate isn't working either. You are a physical body, even though you're energetic. You run off the energy. The food and the energy that you put into your system plays a huge role in this. And if you can keep your hormones and everything lined up, all the chemicals in your system the way they're supposed to be, this whole life gets so much easier, and your expression in this life gets easier. So one of the things we were talking about was going toxin free. That's one of the hormone resets, and taking all the toxins out of your environment resets your testosterone, right? So it's one of the things that it helps. And we were talking about that today, and I was like, well, what does it exactly mean going toxin free? And we were talking about getting rid of, the lotions and potions that we were taught to put on our faces and our skin and our eyes, and all the stuff that we spray ourselves to get rid of bugs, and the stuff we clean our houses with, to the stuff you throw into your washer and dryer that are neurotoxin, the sprays we put in the air, the candles that we burn, all of this stuff that has a toxic value and really dysregulates your hormonal system. And so as we were sitting there talking about that, that's what I was thinking about, was when the evidence no longer supports the story. Look how sick everybody has gotten. And we all have, like, all these reasons and all this stuff, like mine was this, yours was that, this happened over here, that happened over there. But from a physical end of the spectrum, the story that we've been told, not only from the media, from big pharma, from the government, on down the chain, everything that you've watched and supported has caused an issue inside your physical body because the information itself didn't work with the physical body. All the toxins, the chemicals, and whether you believe the whole conspiracy theories about all of this stuff, from the fluoride in the water to the chlorine, what all these things do to your glands. And it's true, it does. Like, we have medical evidence supporting all this at this point. We have scientific evidence as well as medical evidence. Like, honestly, right? It's crazy to me that they're still trying to push a pill down your throat that's going to cause more issues than it solves. It just doesn't make any sense. And then on the other side of the spectrum, you have people, telling you that it's all inside of you. You have everything on board to heal that you need. You just got to figure out how to use it. And the question is, well, then how do you use it? So that's what our 8-week program does, is it helps you get rid of the toxins, first of all, out of your environment, but also from inside of your body, because we're doing the energetic resets. We're actually aligning the heart and the brain, allowing the heart to do its job and the whole system to do its job, to get that good cascade of chemicals coming out, and those all the good stuff just coming into your system to allow your body to start a process of healing. And it's interesting to me that we even fight against that because of what we've been told. That you have to have somebody doing it for you. You have to have somebody out doing all the muscle testing and checking to see that you can't do it yourself. You can't figure out what's in your own subconscious mind. But we do it all the time. Every time I sit down and talk to somebody and they start going through their story and with little redirects and ideas, all of a sudden they've got a whole different idea sitting in front of them. And they're like, wow, I never had thought about it like that before. And that could be the thing that was a subconscious issue that's got you stuck and causing issues inside your body and inside your life, right? Inside the environment around you, the things that you see in your life that you've actually created because of your vibration. And it's crazy interesting to me that we still have a resistance even to helping ourselves get through that, when the things that you could be doing are actually really super simple. It's not complicated. Getting your heart and head in alignment is not a hard thing to do. Keeping it there is a little bit of work. It's a practice. Like so many things, it's a practice. And once you get into the practice of it, I've even seen people, I've walked people through just doing functional breath work. By itself, functional breath work is going to cause a huge difference in your body. It's going to cause a huge difference inside your system, and you're going to start to feel different almost immediately. Doing this 21-day hormone reset, in 3 days you can reset some of your hormonal systems. It's crazy how fast your body will actually respond to the right fuel and information. Information from all different angles, right? From the food that you're putting into your system to the environment you're allowing your system to be in that gives input from the outside in, to the way you treat yourself on the inside, talk to yourself, think about yourself, all of those things, and the chemical input that gives your system. If that's all in alignment, and it seems like an arduous task, but I'm telling you it's not. It's really not as hard as it seems. And if you keep believing the stories, if you keep believing the lies, if you keep doing the things that are causing the issues, you're going to stay stuck in the issue. It's as simple as that. It really is. I saw somebody go through this 21-day hormone reset just recently, had fabulous, amazing results. We walked them through what to do next to keep it rolling. And they were like, I feel so good. I'm just going to go back, and went straight back to doing exactly what they were doing before. What do you think is going to happen? If your body was in that response once because of what you were doing, don't you think it's going to go into it again? Just because you got the hormone to reset, or you got the body to start acting and reacting differently, if you give it the poison again, what do you think is going to happen? Come on now. At some point, we have to start using some common sense. At some point, you have to decide to take authority of your life. At some point, you have to start doing the things that you have done, probably even in the past, that you knew created a positive result. But you decided, because of what other people had told you or other things you had heard, that was too hard to do. It was more work than you were willing to put in. Or perhaps you just simply forgot because life happened and you kept going, and now you're back in the same turmoil you were in again. It's really not hard. It's easy. It's easy to get into the practice. It's easy to feel better. It's easy to fall in love with feeling good. Sometimes part of the problem is we are just so enamored by how bad we feel, we can't get out of our own way to feel good. And it's crazy interesting to me to watch people and listen to people. And even when you say, I want you to stop telling your story for a minute, and I want you to focus on this good thing, and they'll focus for 2 seconds and then they're right back down in their story. And all that tells me is they haven't done enough work yet to be ready to change any of it. They haven't done the work necessary. Even when they come in with lists of things and people, high-end, high-ticket people they've worked with, and still nothing's changing. Oh, nothing works, nothing works. How hard did you really try? How long did you really stick in there with it? How serious were you? And how many different angles did you try and change it from? Because it all matters. It all makes a huge difference. I want to keep this under 10 minutes, so I'm going to cut this short. My name's Christy Mattoon. This is Mind Rewire. Check me out at mindrewire.com. I'm doing live sessions in my office at this point, live healing groups that are turning out amazing. If you're in the area, or even if you're not, if you're coming through, come by and see us. Come by and see me. We're having a lot of fun doing these. You can get better. This can change. Stick with it. Blessings and peace.